Art meets science meets pop culture in the latest exhibition that you'll be able to see at the Cincinnati Museum Center. It is the Science Behind Pixar. Elizabeth Pierce, President and CEO of Cincinnati Museum Center, is with us to talk about this. How exciting is this, Elizabeth? I guess if you loved the Star Wars exhibit back in 2017, you're going to really love this with Pixar.
It's unbelievable. It's so cool. It is like the classic immersive experience that we try to bring you. And it is going to be a behind the scenes kind of look at all the stuff that we take for granted and all those beautiful animated movies that we love. I have described it to people as this is really kind of a math exhibit, but dressed up in the sexiest, most fun way possible.
And I think that's a great way to kind of get kids immersed into it. You know, you bring them in with the Pixar figures that they're so familiar with, but there is a science to it. I mean, Pixar really changed the idea of how we saw animation when the Pixar figures came out 20 plus years ago.
It's a whole process. And what Pixar really is trying to do is walk you through that production pipeline so you understand what, everything starts with great storytelling, as we know, and great art. But in order to bring all of that to life, there is so much modeling, scaling, drawing, surface, lighting, rendering. I mean, all of this kind of stuff that goes into the final product. And they're going to walk you through that whole process from start to finish. And really, it's about giving you a level of excitement and curiosity about what those career paths might look like and how does it all happen. So it's a little demystifying of the magic that we know.
And it really harkens back to a time when here in Cincinnati, we had so many toy designers and we had animators here in Cincinnati. And really, back in the 60s, 70s, this was really the place to be if you were in this business.
Well, and I think it's even more the place to be as you think about the technology growth at UC and at NKU and other places. And certainly what we're trying to get these kids to understand is that computer science can be creative and entertaining. It doesn't have to be simply about cybersecurity, but it can really make art come to life in interesting ways. So I'm hoping that it creates a sense of excitement around all sorts of career paths that lead people to wanting to know more.
So there are 8 interactive areas. Give us highlights of exactly what we will see when we walk through it.
So all the way through the exhibit, there are going to be like some screen-based interactives. There are going to be some physical things that you can manipulate in each section, and then video stories to go along with it. And so they're going to walk you through what's it like to draw, all the way into adding the lighting and the rendering. And one example I've seen online that adults of all ages and kids of all ages are loving playing with is the Pixar lamp and doing that basic stop animation kind of experience. And so it's a little trial and error, and which is what we like to do in science. It's a hands-on process that you have to make a hypothesis, experiment, evaluate whether it did what you wanted it to do. And so we're going to put that in the context of the Pixar lamp and the Pixar storytelling. You can build a WALL-E robot. You can have your picture taken next to this, not life size, because Buzz Lightyear is only 6 inches tall, but a 6 foot tall version of Buzz Lightyear. So lots of great characters that'll make your heart well, as much as the explanation behind how it happens.
And how important do you think it is to expose kids to this, that they may be very familiar with Buzz Lightyear, they may have a Buzz Lightyear, but putting 2 and 2 together, taking that toy and seeing it become perhaps a profession, how important do you think it is just to make that connection and give kids an idea that, I can do this someday?
I think it's so fabulously important. And this exhibit does it in a beautiful way to really showcase the interdependence of a number of different tools and skills and brings art and science together in a fabulous way. But also, these are big, complex projects. And what this exhibit does is kind of show how to take a big, complex activity and break it into smaller pieces and manageable parts. And that is a skill that all of us need throughout every aspect of our lives. So it is problem solving, but done it in a way that really engages people.
And as you say, it really all begins with great storytelling, and from the monsters to Toy Story to Bug's Life, even. I mean, those are great stories, and bringing them to life. I think that when we sit and watch this, sometimes we forget the painstaking work that goes behind all of this. And that, I think, is something that we will learn when we see all of that.
I think it'll give people a huge appreciation for the variety of skills that are involved in bringing this to life. And, I think all of us, when we see those movies or we come to the museum, each time we come, we're a little bit of a different person and we bring something else to that equation. And so I think it's going to be a revelation for parents and kids alike. And it's coming at a great time. It'll be here mid-October through the holiday season. It's going to appeal to the littlest ones that are excited about these stories, to those of us who have seen these films over the last 25 years as they develop. So it's going to be really exciting.
Cannot wait. We want to get tickets. Where do we go?
cincymuseum.org. And here is your director's tip. Please go online and buy your tickets for the date and the time that you want, that fits into your schedule. Because I cannot tell you how many people show up at the museum at 1 o'clock on a Saturday afternoon and are flummoxed by the fact that they have to wait for a couple hours to get their ticket. So buy your ticket when and how you want, and it'll be a smooth sailing for all of you.
There you go. There is your insider's tip on how to make sure that you get your tickets and go the date that you want to. Elizabeth Pierce, thank you so much for being with us. We cannot wait for the Science Behind Pixar. Thanks so much.
Thanks, Betsy. Take care.